Hello, hello, hello. This is Michelin Tireman here speaking. I am in some kind of decompression or compression outfit. You know, the one that gets pumped up from the inside and gets super inflated. That puts you into into a super position of and it causes the collapse of the wave function. and then it all explodes into confetti and leaves a scent of aromatic particles behind. I don't know what's going on with my brain right now. I hope I don't have lead poisoning. That would not be good. Oh, God. But anyway, when I woke up today from a turbulent night of being perpetually stabbed and pushed against by the baby dog's feet. He doesn't know better, of course. But it's not easy to figure this out, even in a king-size bed with a short-legged dog. It's not the easiest of all. The dog just wants to stretch, but then you're already a foot close to the edge of the bed, and then you get pushed, and in your sleep you feel like some kind of monster is pushing you or something. And you wake up and you know, oh, it was the baby dog. He was stretching. Yeah, it's not easy. I have to, all night long, I have to get a treat, and then I have to route him over to a different position. But then he very gradually, like a worm, he slithers back onto my side, and so because he wants to be close to me, of course, you know. So it's not easy to figure all of this out. And I want to be close to him, and at the same time I need to have my sleep undisturbed. It's not easy, all of this. And sometimes he is at Paul's head, and he puts his chin right on Paul's chin, and even though Paul has a beard and everything, he still puts his chin on Paul's chin, and on Paul's shoulder, and on Paul's neck, because he wants to be close at all times. And I've seen that on YouTube with the same type of dogs, pity type of dogs, that are pit bull or Staffordshire, and they are the big lickers and kissers. And when they get rescued, they feel infinite gratitude. And they will not leave Mama and they will not leave Mama's side, ever. They will always stay right by Mama's side, and they will sit right next to Mama, put their hand on her arm, or they put the chin on the shoulder, or they crawl into her lap while she's on the computer. And then they kiss her and whisper into her ear something nice, sweet things. I love you. This is so. They are the most loving, most affectionate dogs in the whole world. But be careful, okay, if you are over 60. Even rescuing an adult pity dog is a risk of falling. Tripping and falling in your own house, okay? So, because they're all over the place, they're very, very active dogs. and they can trip you, and they can make you slip and fall. They are crazy running around. They get these zoomy crazy runs, and he runs around the whole house in circles real fast, and that can trip a grandmother. Literally trip that can trip a grandmother up. So they're very good with children, and they're highly sensitive, and they're very vulnerable psychologically. Okay, so it's very important to know all of these things. Never yell at them, and this brings me now to the subject I want to talk about. Because of what I observe in the world, and also what I observed in myself in the past, and angry letters to my parents and so on, it doesn't work. Okay? It feels like some kind of relief in the moment. It feels like you need to get even, or you need to let it out on them, since they are your perpetrators. No. Okay. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Okay. I woke up thinking about this today, and I've been thinking about this now for years, but today when I woke up, I was so crystal clear about this. I decided I want to make a video about it, because this is such important information for people. And I'm going to try to explain it in the best way I possibly can. For those people that are not familiar with Vipassana and Samadhi, meditation and yoga, I am familiar because I went to Heidi in Germany. I saw her in her yoga studio, and in one location which I don't want to disclose necessarily, but it's northern Germany. And then they moved to Berlin, and I studied in Berlin for about a year and a half psychology, and I went to Heidi in Grunewald, and they have this amazing house that used to be owned by a circus owner. And they even got the original, they somehow found the original circus. I forgot now which circus name that was. Some kind of German circus, famous circus. And they found the original rug for that house, and they had already put a new rug, and they took it out and put the original old circus rug in, because they thought that was so much more interesting. Yeah, her husband was a gallerist of modern art, and she had her really large yoga studio in the upstairs. And we would go there, and about once a week, real nice women. And I'll never forget their assistant lady, the assistant lady in the gallery. I forgot her name now, wonderful woman. And we attended her yoga, and it was always amazing, always. And so, yeah, I got introduced to yoga already from like 16 on, going to Heidi. So that was pretty nice. And the way, the kind of practices she did with us, mindfulness practices that were very simple and very easy to understand, and very clear and understandable in its application and the way it felt, particularly. It wasn't just a theoretical thing, it was theory put into action, and that's where the key is to really understanding things. That's really important. That also was a lifesaver for me, for my life, for sure. All of these things are, and Annalise is play therapy when I was 5 to 8. So all of this was very, very important. I don't think I would have, I doubt I would have made it through all of these years. I have my suspicions on whether I would have made it through if I didn't have these amazing women in my life. And also my grandmother, that I miss very, very much. So, but I want to share this. I want to bring this across to other people in the best way I can, from my own anecdotes and my experiences, and also from the things that I discover for myself every day, and from what Jiddu Krishnamurti says, and Art Janov, and Tony Robbins, and Thich Nhat Hanh. These very, very important teachers in my life. Okay, how do we put what they say into practice? How is this done? Okay, and why is this necessary? Why are these practices necessary? Why is grounding necessary? Because we get the grounding energy from Mother Earth into us. Why is mindfulness necessary? Mindfulness is infinitely necessary because it's through mindful handling of things and our lives that we really get to explore what this or that feels like, how this computer feels in my hand. Not thinking about 10,000 things at the same time and being caught up with like a chicken chick. So chicken chicks, they get distracted, right? My friend Rita said her son Zach was like a chicken chick, always getting distracted by more and more women and can't stick to one woman. So I had a crush on him a long time ago, and many other women had a crush on him as well. Old women, middle women, and young women. Of course, I was in my early 40s at that time, and he was like in his 20s. So there's no chance, for me at all, because I'm too much of a nerd, and he is a chicken with the head cut off, running around amok. So, but I hope they're doing well. But that's why it is so important, See, that's one thing that I can give you right there from Zach, from Rita's son. Rita's son, he was already like a chicken chick with the head cut off and running around amok when, of course, and that's why this happened, when he and his best friend, who was exactly the same way, when I always mix these things up, when they borrowed their dad's car in order to do race car driving at age 22 or something. And 1,000 miles per hour, the brain already, and then not mindfulness, not introspection, just acting it out, taking the car, the guy, Zach, was on the passenger seat. They had the seat belts on. They would be dead if they didn't have the seat belts on. So he races down that one road. I can't mention the location. And there's a sharp 45-degree angle in the road at the end of that one road, and they run right into a brush at 100 miles per hour or something down that road where the speed limit is like 30. So, and that was at night. Ambulance comes over. The driver didn't get hurt very much, which is very weird. But Zach had a severe whiplash where I think even the spinal cord and the neck was injured, and he even had to have an operation done on one of the discs. He was unconscious. It was really, really severe, okay? And all of these things, they happen because people are not mindful, because people are acting things out. They're running around like crazy, and they see something on TV and they want to imitate it. They want to be like that, and they want to be a race car driver, and they watch the race car driving shows every day, and then they're jealous that they are not race car drivers. I mean, it's like race car driving is literally the least thing on my mind. And has always been the least thing on my mind, even though I look like the Michelin tire man. Race car driving is, for me, so utterly nonsensical and ridiculous that it's like, if I see something like NASCAR or something, it's like, to me it's like the same as seeing static TV back when we were watching TV. NASCAR, skip immediately, in an instant. Static TV, skip. Christina Aguilera, skip. 99 Cent Store Music, skip. 100 times skip until I finally come across PBS. Oh, a show on Metastases. I'm hooked. Okay, so I'll watch the whole thing. On edge, literally. So, yeah, that's how my brain works, okay? I don't even see these colloquial type of things. It doesn't register in my mind. My brain does not see or register nonsensical, like social type of events and social shows and peer pressure type of things. My brain skips right through. Even in person, I skip on the inside. I see someone ridiculous with ridiculous clothes on, I walk off. I see a woman with the breasts hanging half out, I'm already skipping through and walking away. I would never dress like that. Okay, so or a man with his underpants half showing over the butt, and I already skipped through in my head and walking away. Britney Spears and the underwear boyfriend type of guy, I forgot the name. I'm skipping through all of this stuff. It's not interesting to me. To me, it's like static on the TV. It's like an ugly car or some kind of ugly toy for children. It's not interesting to me. Okay. When I go into the store, the same things. It's like from 1,000 items, maybe 2,000 items, there may be one item that I consider buying, right? So it's yesterday I bought a bag of marshmallow caramel swirl marshmallows at the Dollar Tree store. That was in a very unmindful act to do, okay? $1.25 because of inflation for a little bag of unhealthy food color, chemical ridden marshmallow candies that tasted good, aren't good for you, aren't good for others, and don't serve the greater good. It is, according to Tony Robbins, a class 3 experience. Okay, something that tastes good, feels good, isn't good for you, isn't good for others, and doesn't serve the greater good, obviously. because you're supporting something with your money that they then think this is a good seller, and then they make more of it, and then more of that in the store, kids buy it, and so it's not good for the greater good, obviously. And he brought these things into a very crystal clear perspective, Tony Robbins. Class 1 is something that feels good, is good for you, is good for others, and serves the greater good. Class 2 is something that doesn't feel so good. It's kind of like a grind, but it's good for you, it's good for others, and serves the greater good. A lot of health food is like that, right? And then class 3, I just mentioned it. And then class 4 is something that does not feel good, is not good for you, isn't good for others, and doesn't serve the greater good. Okay. Now, that is a real bummer, class 4. And Tony Robbins said you would think that people avoid that situation. But guess what? They don't. Okay. NASCAR. I want to be a NASCAR driver. Let's borrow Dad's car and drive into the hedge at the end of the road. It didn't feel good to begin with. I know it didn't feel good. And that's where the class 4 experience comes in. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about mindfulness. When people, and when it's literally just they see something, they want to be like that, they want to imitate it, it doesn't even feel good, their inner voice already told them don't do it. And then at night they can't even see very well, and they drive 100 miles per hour, totally reckless. They probably had a couple of drinks also, that's another unmindful thing to do. And it's just horrible, okay? It's just disaster prone. That's what it is. I know it didn't feel good to begin with because they were ridden by their egos. Ridden. Okay. When people are ridden by the ego, they do things that don't feel good, are not good for them, are not good for others, and don't serve the greater good. Okay. That's the truth. Okay, and that happens with so many things. It happens also with alcohol drinking, or the people that drink alcohol for the first time out of peer pressure, or they smoke for the first time out of peer pressure. Okay. Then a cascade of lifetime addiction and suffering comes out of it, which is a catastrophe, okay? So all of that, those are all class 4 experiences. And even if people do class 3 experiences with me yesterday at the Dollar Tree store, I get myself the marshmallow candies that I figured that little bag there, it's not too bad. Doesn't have chocolate in it. It has a bunch of other toxic things. But I get it. I ate the whole bag in one sitting half in the van door. I gave baby dog one. He didn't like it. He smelled on it, licked on it, but didn't want it. He had better sense than I did. And then I ate that marshmallow he licked on, and then I ate all the other marshmallows. They tasted so good. And then I read the ingredients afterwards because I didn't want to spoil the experience. And then I saw yellow, 5, whatever, 40 reds. Yeah, right, no, not right. Okay. So Robert Kennedy is working diligently on getting that removed, okay? Unfortunately, the assholes out there have another year until they phase it out. It should be removed instantly. It should be recalled instantly. But they have a deadline of about a year to get their act straightened out and get this toxic shit out of their merchandise. Okay, so, but he has done it. They have done it. They have put it into legislation, and it is actively happening now. I'm so grateful for that. But some other companies are already working on it. Like, for example, the Safeway in-store bakery cookies, the Easter cookies that tasted like cardboard. I looked at the ingredients. It didn't have the artificial colors already in it. So thumbs up for them. Okay. Good job. Okay. Keep it up. Keep it going. Make your cookies healthy again and make all of your pastries healthy. You can do it. Okay. It's doable. It's not a Herculean act of unimaginable grinding difficulty. It's not, obviously. Yeah, the healthy ingredients cost a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But if you buy them in bulk, and you do at Safeway, then you're gonna save at Safeway, that's your name, you're gonna save a lot of money down the road, and you're gonna save lives. Isn't that worth it? Yes, it is, in my opinion. So mindfulness is so infinitely important. You have no idea. It is the most important thing there is mindfulness. Okay. Breathing, inwardness. Okay. Instead of the angry letter that I'm about to write to my parents. Wait. Breathe. Don't write the letter. Or if you want to write the letter, don't send it. Okay? I used to send them per paper mail. That's even worse. Okay? It's like ink on paper. Angry words. My dad always used to call it die Hiobsbotschaft. Ist das wieder eine Hiobsbotschaft? Oh man, I don't even want to read it. So, yeah, that's how it was, always. I'm glad that I moved out of that entire situation, literally and particularly mentally. Okay. I moved out of this frenzy in my head mentally, and that's the healing process. Okay, that is the healing. That's the healing journey. It really is. I don't want to get psychotic leg nerve problems. So I have to lean back a little bit here. I have to straighten out my tailbone area. That's where the sciatic nerve is. That connects the spinal column with both of your legs. So the sciatic nerve is going, it's like a nerve bundle that goes from the spinal column where the tailbone is through the hip area, through the hip bones, and down the legs like this. And if you sit too much, as I already talked about this before, then you get this problem. And if you don't change that approach, you're going to be in it for a complete disaster. You are. Okay. I've already been through this. I don't need any more of it. I went through this for about a month. It was so extreme that I thought of cutting my throat with a serrated knife. I am not joking. Not joking. This is not a joke. The sciatic leg nerve. The psychotic leg nerve, okay, is... That leg nerve is... Oh, I'm pulling out feathers here. Chicken feathers in here. Okay. This here is not okay. Just wanted to mention this real quick. It's not okay this year. These are down feathers from a baby chicken or something, and that's not okay to do. These jackets are super old. That was before I knew about any of these things. This jacket is like 25 years old. I'd already had to patch it. I'm wearing it only because why not wear it if you already have it? Well, you have to wear it. Or you can give it to homeless people. I was going to give it to homeless people, and Paul refused. He wouldn't let me do it because I'm very quick to give everything away. But now I'm glad we didn't give it away because I need all of these jackets. I need them all the time. I wear these all the time, these puffer jackets. But this is with down feathers. That's why it's so puffed up enormously. That's what the baby chickens have to have, that for the winter. Okay. And or any kind of bird that is in a 4-season climate zone, they have to have that. And don't take that away from them. That's totally unethical. Never, ever, 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 ever buy down-filled items. And tell all of your favorite clothing manufacturer. And I've done it already. I don't know if I've written to those. I've written to Prana and Arc'teryx and North Face and what was the other one? Forgot now. But anyway, there are major corporations that they make really high quality outdoor gear, and you have to write to them to tell them that you will not buy products from them until they completely phase out down jackets or fur jackets, anything with fur, anything with animal on it. And I go so far to say please phase out leather as well. I will not wear leather anymore. I gave Paul my last leather items. I had a leather, like a pouch thing from Coach that I bought a long time ago. I gave it to Paul, and I guess I had some shoes in the past that had something. I gave those to Paul. I think he threw those away. So I had leather belts in the past. I gave them away, all of that away. I had leather purses. I gave them to the thrift store. I gave them to the out of the closet thrift store in LA. Man, we gave those people whole bunch of expensive stuff because we were moving into the motorhome and we couldn't keep all of that stuff, and that would just rot if we put it in a storage room somewhere, and we can't afford a heated storage room. So, and then it would get stolen, and that happened to my friend Birgit. Her leather couch and the Blue God 3333. Thank you, Blue God says. Everything is well now. Okay. Thank you, Blue God. Oh, yeah. That's important. That's infinitely important. To be mindful and well. And be connected with the infinite cosmos. And be protected by the infinite cosmos. So my friend Birgit, she had the heated storage room for like a year or two. She moved with someone to the Maldives Islands. When she came back to Germany, that was all plundered and taken out, including a wall-size painting that I had painted for her. And that leather couch. Real sad, all of that. But in our case, all of that would have rotten and molded, so we have to think ahead with those things. Okay. So we just gave it to the out of the closet thrift store that so other people can enjoy it, right? That would be better than having it rot somewhere. That doesn't make much sense. I know a lot of homeless type of people that we met by being homeless in the motorhome. We met a bunch of homeless people. And this is that ties also back into mindfulness and into class 4 experience. They do something that does not feel good, isn't good for them, isn't good for others, and doesn't serve the greater good. They could have given all of their loads and loads, shit loads of items and china, porcelain, golden embroidered curtains. They could have given all of this to people like the out of the closet thrift store or Humane Society thrift store, even better, okay, or ASPCA thrift store or PETA thrift store. They could have given it to local animal shelter thrift store, okay, that would save dogs, save lives, help them, give them more money, and it would give people the opportunity to buy things cheap and have some high quality products versus having all of that stuff rot in a storage room. That's class 4 experience, okay? Doesn't even feel right. And they're wasting their entire SSI. I am not joking. They're wasting their entire SSI money on storage rooms. I know a woman. Debbie is her name. I can't even wrap my head around it. I just can't. I'm sorry. That eludes my logic. How anyone can possibly do something like this. She gets $2,000 from the government and she puts it right into the storage container, storage room, facility, owner's bank account. No. So that her stuff can rot in there. And it does, because she can't afford the heated ones. If she could only have one storage room for that money for the heated ones. That would save her stuff, though, but then she'd never get to use the stuff because she'd never have another house or another apartment, because she's squandering all of the money and living with her boyfriend in his fifth wheel trailer. Okay, so we've met all kinds of people like this, and it's just unbelievably heartbreaking. And that's why I want to create this therapy help centers, because I want to help people like this. So we moved into the motorhome because it was the right thing for us to do, instead of just buying something sight unseen, right? Like going to a realtor and doing some kind of exchange. There was a house in Ojai we could have bought that had hot springs on it. That would have been an even exchange. Was the house in Marina del Rey, money-wise, but then we wouldn't have had the money to live on. Paul would have had to continue to probably play drums in bars, and that was not the ultimate lifestyle for him. He ruined his hearing, he ruined his eardrums with it. So no, that would have been a class 3 experience, something that feels good in the moment. I want the hot spring house. But then, on retrospect, then we don't have the money to live on, the retirement fund and all of it. So, against all the ridicule from my dad, homeless people, we moved into the Winnebago and we traveled. It was rough. It was real rough because it rained in. there was mold in the shelf and all of that, You name it, all kinds of shit, and it felt really bad. People looked down on us. It felt bad. It was a real raw soul school, ego burning experience. It really was. But it was a necessary one for both of us. It really was. It was really necessary to get your butt kicked like this and put you into your place. Not the people, the situation itself. It puts you into your humble place where you should be, okay? Nobody should be on some kind of high pedestal. But a lot of people are, because they have never experienced what it's like to be homeless or in a motorhome or have it rough. So I think it's worth trying it out. It really is. It's rough, but it is important. It is the school of the energy healer. Okay, you only come out enriched, and not necessarily on the outside, but on the inside. You come out enriched. And it's a wise move, okay, as Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki brought it to a very simple equation. He said, the rich father drives a small car, a used car, and the poor father drives the factory new Rolls Royce. So, why is he poor? Because he drives the factory new Rolls Royce. Class 3 experience, he does something at the spontaneous trip of the moment, okay? I knew someone in LA, he was addicted to buying cars. A psychotic man, was real sad. He was literally addicted to buying cars. So he was a lawyer at some point, and then he got addicted to buying cars. He lost his business, he lost his law practice, he lost all of his money. He had to move back in with his parents. He was 150, couldn't even take care of himself, was totally psychotic. I feel so sorry for him. I dated him for a short time. That was almost worse than Norbert. That guy, I mean, so sad. Real sad. I feel so sad for him. Okay. So, and I was an asshole at that time. I didn't even know how to deal with those kind of things. When something didn't make sense, I would blame the people for it. And now I see it a little differently, because I see that these people are in a tragic mind state of class 3 experience, cascades of unmindfulness behavior. Okay, addictive behavior is unmindful behavior. Going to the car dealer, the rush of this, the adrenaline rush. It's an internal addiction loop. It's an adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin. Those are addiction chemicals that the brain creates in a moment of excitement and anticipation. He gets this new car and he's all excited. He already has 5 new cars and spent all of his money on buying and more cars until his parents finally his old parents had to step in and say, enough is enough. We have to save you from your own addiction to buying cars. So, I mean, it's incredible the kind of stuff that's happening in some people's minds. And that's a rather rare addiction, but most people will just buy one car, and they know they can't buy another. But in rare cases, it takes over the entire nervous system, and then they keep on buying cars, and they keep on taking up credit cards that they can't even pay back, and it's a disaster. And he lost all the cars. He has to walk now. He has no money at all. He goes to the community clinic in LA to get psychiatric treatment. It's really, really sad, all of this. Awful sad, is that. So but we can fix this. I want to help fix all of these things. That's why I say mindfulness, come back to your senses. understand the future of your actions. What Tony Robbins talked about it all the time, the future of your actions. What's going to happen down the line? What's going to happen in 1 year from now? What's going to happen in 5 years from now? Where are you going to be in 10 years from now if you continue on this trajectory of events, okay, that you are creating with your class 3 experiences or class 4 experiences? So what are you going to cause yourself? So is the bulimia gonna make you happier down the line, or is it gonna be causing you to suffer really horrifically? Is the anorexia going to save your life, or is it gonna kill you? Is it gonna make you suffer horrifically? Is it gonna make you lose friends? Is it gonna make you lose lovers? Okay, men do not want skeletons in bed. They do not. Okay, this is a fact. Even those guys that are full of pride and arrogance, and the ones that want to pride themselves of having the skinniest girlfriend, that's just a fact. That's a fashion type of thing that has nothing to do with actually with the hormones and the mating. I have a smudge on the screen. So it has nothing to do with mating and boyfriend and girlfriend. Has nothing to do with that. It's trophy wife. It is he acquired something and is proud of it and wants to show it off. A skeleton. That's his skeleton that he takes out of the closet and shows up at the dinner party, and she isn't even eating anything there, with the collarbone sticking out, and she has an empty look on her face because she's absolutely miserable. Class 4 experience. Okay. Why is she doing it anyway? Because her ego is telling her that now she's proud. Now she's a proud photo model. That's what the ego is telling. I'm sorry, guys. I have to call the kid by the name with this. You're killing yourself and you know it. Okay? And that's not okay to yourself. And if I had legislation, I would round you all up with a lasso. Okay? Have to be careful, because you're skeletons. You have to be touched with velveteen gloves. Okay. You have to be put into a straitjacket, and you have to be gently brought to the insane asylum, the sanatorium, the close one, and you cannot leave for the rest of your life. Okay. Maybe in those cases, maybe I'll make an exception. Okay. If they prove to the therapists that they have mastered their mental faculties, if they can prove to them that they have overcome the ego, that they can. I saw one time a show about anorexia. This real cute teenage girl that has a very naturally thick body with big bones, big hips and all of that, big thigh bones, big hips, but you can literally only see those thigh bones and the hips, but you see, a girl with big thigh bones and big hips and big around the waist ribs, but that's all you see. You see the ribs, you see the bones, and they made her, she was in a clinic, they made her eat, and after she ate, she wanted to throw it up, they wouldn't let her, and then she went into a screaming fit, and she said, "I will never be beautiful." Wait a second. You have been given the gifts of nature, baby. You have been given everything that girls can just dream of, okay? And you want to starve yourself to death. You can't even appreciate it because of your darn ego, okay? You should be in an insane asylum for your own good, okay? Class 2 experience, insane asylum. That's what the sanatorium is. It's a class 2 experience. Something that may not feel so good to your ego. But it's good for you. It's good for others. And it serves a greater good. One person less in that, how they call him, Anna chat room. The Anna chat room. The anorexic chat room people. Okay? Horrific. I'll be fat for the rest of my life because I prefer that. Okay? I think being anorexic is worse than death. It really is. It's tragic beyond measure. No man wants this, okay? It's just your ego that wants to feel proud of being a supermodel. That still doesn't make you a supermodel, and if Claudia Schiffer, who's a supermodel, if she was that anorexic, they would kick her out. She would not be a supermodel anymore. She's already dangerously thinny skin, okay? She is dangerously skeleton already, okay? Way too much. I would not allow it. But anymore, and she would really starve herself to death. Now, this entire fashion industry literally has skeletons in the closet, literally. So, I am accusing them of killing girls. I really am. And fashion designers like Calvin Klein, I accuse those people. Okay, they are part of this all of this problem. Okay, they're part of this fad, and this fad causes women's egos to starve themselves. Okay, and this is criminal in my personal view, absolutely criminal. All of this needs to be addressed. Okay, so in the sanatorium that I would create, they would be forced to attend group therapy, forced. So when that girl, when she screamed and said, "I'll never be beautiful," that, my dear, is a feeling and nothing else. It is an emotion. It is a sick fuck emotion. It comes from ego sick fuckness. Okay, that's where it comes from. The ego is extreme neurotic. That's what the ego is, and they can't even see beyond the horizon, beyond that football stadium of the ego anymore. They are so immersed in this drive of starving themselves. They think like 1 more pound less is even better, and even better until it's just bones left. Okay, the body cannot sustain itself with bones. Okay, it can't. It has to have flesh too. The heart needs flesh, it needs water, it needs juice, it needs blood pumping through your body. It needs flesh to pump the blood through the body and feed your brain and your organs. So very important for survival, for healing, for health. These girls need to be forced to eat. They absolutely need to be forced to eat. There'll be real harsh incentives if they don't eat this plate. And for those kind of girls, there needs to be a social worker, at least a social worker, if not a therapist, psychologist on their side at all times, non-stop. perpetual supervision so that they do not go to the bathroom and throw that. They can't even go to the bathroom alone, those girls, because they will puke it out. They stick a finger in the throat and puke it out. It's that serious. It's awful, all of this. It's the ego taking over and telling them they need to be even thinner than Claudia Schiffer, and then it's some sort of proud accomplishment. That's a lie, okay? It's a complete lie. Got started with the fashion industry. I hold them accountable for it, okay? But I hold you accountable also. You don't have to be part of this. You don't have to let your ego dictate to you what to do, okay? You don't. I don't have to let my ego dictate to me all kinds of stuff. Okay? Whatever it always was, for me it was always like this. It has to do with childhood trauma, with my parents putting a humongous emphasis on mental and intellectual accomplishments, and then the ego goes like, yeah, the ego hawks that entire field. The ego takes over this. For me, it wasn't so much about being pretty or that I didn't care about that much about it. For me, it was intellectual accomplishments. Yes, my ego was like, yeah, that's your thing now. That is your identification. And beware if someone challenges that. Then you get all upset. And well, that's what it was with me. And I still, once in a while, catch myself getting a little irritated when people come at me. But not so bad anymore because I know who is coming at me. Those are the people that try to have, they want to feel in charge, right? So, yeah. Then I already know where this is going. So why should I take offense to that? Obviously. But, if Elon Musk called me stupid, that would hurt my ego. That would be bruisey, okay? But I would never get mad at him because obviously, compared to him, I'm a clown in the circus, right? With oversized shoes that falls over their own shoes. That's what I'm compared to Elon Musk. So, and I don't mind being a clown. I think it's good being a clown. And I'm not claiming to be a genius or anything. I have pretty average IQ of 104. At least it's 3 digits. Barely. Yeah, but it is good. I'm glad. My IQ would probably be higher if I didn't have mercury amalgam filling poisoning as a child. So that did a lot of damage. But the brain can recuperate. But it takes a long time. Okay, mercury poisoning in amalgam fillings, it can ruin the brain. It can cause brain cells to die. It's awful tragic, all of this. And the Dental Association worldwide, they did not want to own up to it because of greed, okay, because then it would create a panic and people would all jump away from that. And they wanted to phase that out very gradually without anyone asking questions. That's how they always function. Okay, so in the meantime, more children got mercury poisoning and all of this because they didn't want to own up to it. The Dental Association people. It's really, really awful. All of this whole corporate agenda and tragic. But someone needs to talk about it. It's important. We knew a dentist, Dr. Roda in LA, star dentist, awesome, amazing guy. And Paul went to him, I went to him to have an amalgam filling removed safely, which he was doing, and Dr. Rhoda, he was taking it on with his lawyers. He was taking on the American Dental Association. That is a brave thing to do. Very, very brave. Dr. Rhoda was the only man in my life who has ever given me a hand kiss. I wonder how he is doing. He's probably 100 years old now. I hope he's doing well. So, amazing, amazing man. And all of this is important information. Okay, very important information. And then I always come back to the people that are very quick to lash out on other people. That's also a class 3 experience, okay? This lashing out, very, very quick, without any thought, without having this go through the prefrontal cortex first. This is very important here, this area of the brain, because that is a buffer zone that tells you, dang, better better not send that letter to your parents. Better not kill your girlfriend right now. No, that is not a good idea. It's not good. No, you're not badass, great, and praised, and all of these things. I don't even know where to get started with all of this. I mean, there's so much that goes into the cluster B people, the criminal type of people, the way they're thinking. They're even proud of all of this. They're proud of killing their girlfriend. And then the other guys, well, it is awful. It's horrific. Horrific. What I see on the internet, it's just heartbreaking. All of this needs to be healed. Those are the people, the cluster Bs are the first ones that have to go into the sanatorium, okay? And they have a special place there in that sanatorium. They don't only have a psychologist on their side at all times. No, they have a robot, a drone, and 2 prison guards, at least, on their side, for each person at all times. At all times, okay? In case there is an altercation happening again, the drone will inject something into you. Okay, so you better know in the back of your head and in the front of your head. Don't act it out. Don't do it. Don't punch the prison guard, because the drone will inject something into you. like a mosquito. Okay. The drone will inject a solution of Pieris japonica into you. And that will make you mellow like a hippie, which goes against your ego if you're cluster B. Okay. So you know better, right? But that's how it's going to be conducted. And be glad if you end up in my sanatorium and not in the one in El Salvador. Okay? Be very, very glad about this. But the one in El Salvador is the best we have worldwide. The finest of the absolute ultra most genius prisons. This is working. It works. It's really great. The only difference to my sanatorium, and I would not use the word prison because we need to get away from this mentality of incarceration and all of that, but it would be a closed sanatorium of, I don't know, maybe 100,000 square miles, so big, like an entire town, right? An entire city, as big as an entire city, like Escape from New York, with that actor, what's his name again? Jack Russell, I think was his name. Escape from New York. Where entire New York has become a sanatorium, but not the best of all. That's not even governed by anything. It's just the Wild West where people kill each other. So that's not the ultimate solution of the future, obviously. No, we have to have an area as big as a large city, but rural area. And we have to have all modern buildings there that are run on solar panels. It's completely off grid. It's completely self-sufficient. They grow their own food. They have their own composting system, composting toilets. They put the nutrients back into the land. A natural life cycle, okay? And most people don't know about any of these things. So, I mean, if they knew, they would probably, if they care, they would be on board with what I'm saying. So we have to have a sanatorium like this that needs to be surrounded by 6-foot high cement wall and without razor wire, as I already talked about. And then we have to have drones. Every 6 feet on that wall needs to be a drone, like a guard post drone that sits there. And if things get ugly, they can immediately step in and inject. So, and that's all we need. It's peaceful, it's clean. There's no ugly incidents happening, or there cannot be ugly incidents happening. And it feels like being free at the same time. So no incarceration, but obviously they need to be accompanied by robotics, by people, by guard people, by psychologists, and so on. And they have to make sure that these people don't act up. And just like the girl that screamed and said, "I will never be pretty," no. Okay. "I will never be beautiful." Okay, she's already in the right place when she's saying this in that moment. Although that's mistaken, she's mistaken about that idea, but that's where she needs to be. She needs to not be allowed to act out. The same with the cluster B man that lashes out. Take that possibility away from the cluster B man. Take that option away from him, the option of punching the bodyguard. Take that the whole option away. And he will fall very quickly on his knees mentally, and he will understand that underneath this fake facade of punching everyone he comes across in order to feel great about himself, if you take that away, underneath that is a shivering nerve, is a shivering, pushover, coward, and a shaking, terrified child. Okay, underneath all of that. And he knows that. He doesn't want to go in that direction because it feels bad to the ego. He doesn't want to feel again what that inner child feels. He doesn't want to feel when my brother said, "Should I go back behind the vacuum cleaner?" Because when he was a little child, he went behind the vacuum cleaner to get soothing warm air onto his face with some dust particles in it. It's like an autistic type of mechanism for self-soothing. And when he said that to me, when I told him, "You got to remove these act-outs if you want to really dive into it," he said, "I can't do that, what you're doing, this totally stepping out of society and be complete hermit and independent and wear anything you want to wear and be ridiculed." He can't do that. Why not? Because of the ego, right? because he wants to be proud. He wants to think he's proud. He gets his clothes made in England by a couturier. He wants to be proud of that. The way his whole language is the language of a total arrogant piss over. Like someone who's like some total arrogant jerk that has never known what it means to have to work for their money. That's he looks up to that. To my brother, that's like an accomplishment, to be like that jerk that has never known what it means to have to actually work for your money, or to appreciate your money, or to appreciate what you have, or to maybe fix something with a glue gun. Maybe fix your shoes with a glue gun, a hot glue gun, okay? No, he throws the shoes away. He doesn't even give it away. He's too arrogant for that. My brother looks up to that kind of jerk, that kind of asshole. That is how heavy neurotic my brother is, okay? My brother's mind is gone like a zombie in zombie land, okay? He doesn't, for a while, he was humbled because he crashed his Mercedes into someone else. He never admitted to it, but I know from what he's told me that this is exactly what happened. I hope he didn't hurt any living being in this car crash. His Mercedes was totaled, and right after that, he went into a rehab clinic. No one asked any question. My parents didn't ask, because for my parents, that would go against the ego to have to acknowledge that my brother is a total loser and drug addict, okay? And I don't like the word loser. I'm just trying to explain the situation as best as I can, you know. If you don't want to be a loser, don't act like a loser. If you don't want to act like a loser, own your own mistakes. Don't drink alcohol. Don't take drugs if you don't want to be a loser. If you don't want someone else to think you might be a loser, don't do these things. Don't crash a car into someone else, endangering lives, okay? It was only then, when he was in the rehab clinic, when he started to humble down. He got his butt kicked there, okay? Just the situation itself, that he crashed the car, that he ended up in the rehab clinic. He told me that it was because he was physically not well and he didn't get the right nutrients, and it was some kind of clinic to help him. No, it was a rehab clinic. He even showed me the photos. It said rehab clinic. My brother is also not a very good liar, okay? So he's given away unbelievably amounts over the decades, unbelievable amounts of self-incriminating information. But the reason why my family members in Germany did not believe me is because, particularly my mother and my father, because they wanted to hang on with their ego. That's their mental illness. They wanted to hang on to the idea that my brother is top-notch. They already had one person, one child, that is a total mental illness clown, right? Me. Okay, so they didn't want to, and the girl being the clown, that's okay. Yeah, find her, yeah. You find your protector. I did. I found my caregiver, Paul, my second dad. And yeah, I have a lot of issues. I don't feel comfortable being on my own feet financially. This is a long journey for me, a long journey of mental illness. But at least I own my mistakes, okay? I can talk about this kind of stuff. I'm not afraid to talk about it, because I know how vitally important it is for me to talk about all of this, because I know that this information will make the world a better place. It will. For me, this is a class 1 experience. It helps me to talk about it. It feels good because of it. It's good for me. It's good for others and serves the greater good. Okay? And that's why I make these videos. Even if no one watches it, at least I tried against the odds of shadow banning and all of that by Klaus Schwab, who doesn't even know me. Well, all I know is that Klaus Schwab is a string holder, is one of them. And he makes it so that people that say the truth are being shadow banned. He doesn't want people like that in the world. Because people like that could be opening people's eyes to facts and truth, right? And they could empower people. And that would go against the medical industry. That's an industry. They want to make money on you. They don't want to lose you as a customer. But I want you to step away from the medical industry. That's why we need an entire psychiatry reform. We need the psychiatry reform from pharma into holistic healing. Okay? That's all there is to it. That's going to be a humongous reform. And it will save so many lives. It can even create world peace. It can even create a type 1 civilization. What I'm talking about. I am not exaggerating. This is that vitally important. And come back to the core of it. You can already do it at home. That's why I make these videos. We don't have this therapy center yet. Let's start. Don't wait until we have the therapy center. Don't wait until other people have to put you in the straitjacket or take you by the hand and force you to your own good. Make the effort now. Eat, baby. Eat whole food. Don't eat meat anymore. Eat a lot of whole food. Eat a lot of greens. A lot. Like Raw Food Christina, okay? She is in the best physical shape one can be in, okay? So muscular, fit, buff, strong, not overweight, but not underweight, healthy, and she eats 2 large bowls every day for lunch of self-grown greens and veggies, and sits by a swimming pool and eats that. Takes her like 2 hours to eat that. Eat mindfully, okay? And it gives her nutrients. It feeds her. Live food feeds your live body, okay? This is the truth. It is the truth. I eat stuff in the garden when I go out there. I eat daisies, I eat dandelion leaves, I eat grass, blades. I eat all of that. Sometimes I eat a little bit. Christmas tree needles taste really good, but it has a real strong soapy type of taste, but it's full of vitamins, full of vitamin C and other nutrients. Real important, all of this. Eat salads, eat raw food. Paul makes veggie paste now. He puts all kinds of veggies, celery and carrots and greens and spinach. Spinach is absolute superfood. Absolute superfood. There's the Voynich manuscript, which was written by about 12 women. They were, at that time, they would be called witches, of course. 12 independent women that were thousands of years ahead of their time, of course. They were bathing in hot springs in Macedonia, naked, and they had their own secluded area where they lived, They knew they couldn't share any of these things with the other close-minded people around them. They would be burned on a fire if they did. So in 1400, that was a serious dark age time for open-minded and modern people. That was very dangerous. But they wrote a health manual called the Voynich Manuscript. And in Macedonian, spinach is called spanak. And they even drew the picture of spinach. And I know for sure they listed many different plants. I know for sure that they were praising spinach as being one of the absolute superfoods in the world. That's why, I don't know, the older people, my generation, we saw this cartoon called Popeye. And Popeye would always be popping a can of pre-cooked spinach into his jaw, and then he would flex his muscles and be all strong and jump all over the place. So that was a good message for children, for all of us. That was a real good message. That was pre-corporate agenda bad messages. Okay, that was a good message that said you need to eat your spinach if you want to be strong like Popeye. Okay, and so we did. And what would be even better is to eat raw spinach, raw food in general. But I heard that cooked spinach is okay too. It retains its nutrients, which is really awesome because I like frozen spinach. I absolutely love frozen spinach that has been shredded already, that comes in a block of frozen spinach ice that you melt in your pan, and you can put a little bit olive oil or canola oil on it and heat it up and eat it with cooked potatoes or mashed potatoes. Tastes fantastic, and it's really, really good for you. Really, really yummy. So this is very, very good. That's also an Armageddon food, That's something that you can store when you buy it in a can, for example, shredded spinach in a can. Then you just heat it up and eat it, and it still retained its nutrients. Most plants, when they are canned, they lose their nutrients, or they lose a lot of the nutrients because they are heated up to a very high degree for a short time. This is called the pasteurization process, in order to get rid of any kind of pathogen in there that could multiply or that could create mold or that could cause some kind of infestation of some sort. So they have to do this in order to preserve it. And then it stays preserved for many years, actually, in this vacuum sealed can that had been flash heated. So this is all Armageddon foods, all good, but in general, raw food, grow your own greens is very, very vitally important. But again, to the subject of inwardness, this girl that was screaming and throwing a fit, she said, "I will never be beautiful now." Okay, that you don't have to interfere in that moment. Let her scream that out. She needs to be in that space, in that moment, okay? That's the entry point into the ego dissolution funnel, okay? And then she goes from there, okay? You have to go through the ego dissolution funnel if you want to heal, okay? You cannot heal unless you go into that ego dissolution funnel that I call it, okay? It's like a funnel, but it's an internal thing. It's an internal process that you go through, okay? The ego is being dissolved in this process because the ego cannot stay standing when you have feelings like that girl. I will never be pretty, I will never be beautiful, or I will never be a photo model. That the ego cannot stand with that. that's why she's screaming, because it hurts so bad. The ego hurts so bad, right? But she needs to go through it. She has no other choice. Don't make it easy for her. She needs to go through this, okay? It's important. Don't intercept. Don't cave in and say, oh, okay, you don't have to eat lunch now. Keep starving yourself. No. If we care, we have to feed these girls, okay? We have to do it. We are their caregivers. We are their protectors. I'm the mother of all living beings. That's how I feel, okay? And I care very deeply about all of them, okay? And this caring sometimes implies tough love in this way, where you have to let them go through. My mother was whimpering out with me. She would always give in, I would throw a fit as a child if I couldn't get this or that. Buy me this, buy me this, buy me this. That was my only idea of sanity, having a bunch of stuff, okay? And then she would get mad and even stomp her foot down, but then she would cave in again. So what kind of message is that to the child? It's a mixed message. That means that the child learns then that the child can throw a temper tantrum and get her way. Okay, that's what it means. And that's not how we help children. My parents, with their woke liberal approach, that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't teach children the right survival training and mind state and empowerment. Not at all. Okay, it's very wimpy. So I came to this conclusion. It took me a long time, through decades, I had to come to this conclusion. I started out being woke, as you can imagine, and getting mad at people when they were not woke. And I feel sorry now, in retrospect. I've yelled at older women, and regarding the Menendez brothers, I was still woke as it gets in LA, and I was young. I was 28 when the Menendez brothers murdered their parents. Now looking back, it's like, these are psychopaths. Okay, that's not okay. They need to be behind closed doors, at least in a sanatorium. Okay, they cannot be out there. But at that time, I was like, I was for Ross Perot. I was for the Menendez brothers. So one guy reminded me of someone in the primal therapy center, and he was doing the same type of crying as that guy in the therapy center did. And I thought, the Menendez brothers, they're victims, and they need to do primal scream, and now they need to get off the hook, and no, wasn't working. It didn't work, and I think they never got off the hook with that. I'm glad, okay. And then I got into heated arguments, and there were old women that said, these are psychopaths. And I got real mad at them, and I said, no, they are victims of their parents, and they're victims of society, da. And now I completely see this differently, I see that they're psychopaths, okay. Not everyone does that, even if they are abused. And the parents have abused the kids, and it's tragic, all of this. Horrible. But that still doesn't give them the right to continue murdering people or murder anyone, okay, as a matter of fact. Don't murder your parents. Don't murder your girlfriend or boyfriend. Don't do it. Okay? Go into your own mind. Inwardness, meditation, ego dissolution. There are men that murder their parents so they can get their money, so that they can continue pretending to be rich to some girl on the internet. This all happened, all of this. Take the hard road here. Do it now. As if you see this video, this is my message to you. If you are a murderer, if you have contemplated on murdering your parents, listen 10 times to this video. I am urging you. You must, okay? You must listen to what I'm telling you. Don't act it out anymore. Don't go against your parents. Leave your parents in peace. Leave their money in peace. Leave their bank account in peace. Let them write the will the way they want to. Don't do anything about it. Absolutely nothing. Lay your hands next to your legs. Literally lay your hand, lip next to your leg, next to your butt on the couch. And do this here. That's the first step. You have to do it. That's the first entry point into the ego dissolution funnel. Don't write to that girl anymore that you're trying to impress. If you tell her the truth, she might drop you, but she might also say, oh, someone honest, maybe someone I can trust, right? You never know. But I would say don't write to her. That writing to her is also total act out. You can write later to women after you've been through this ring of the ego dissolution. Focus now. You have everything to gain for your future. Everything. Focus now on you. And you only. Forget about all the other people. Forget about your parents, what they have, what they not have, bank accounts, what you want from them, the money. Forget about it. Let your parents live. Send your parents love. No matter what. No matter even if they were abusive. Send them love. Slump over on the couch. Drop your arms. This is a yoga practice, by the way. Breathe. Inwardness. Okay? Total inwardness. Total. That's the entry point. If the tears come, allow them to come. That's your healing process. That's your only ticket to healing. I'm telling you this with infinite love because I care. Because I see people. I see everyone. I see you. I see you are in Zombieland. I see it. What your mind is doing. I see your mind is running 10,000 miles per hour. Driven by the ego. That's why slump over. You have infinite time now. Time stands still. Don't think about the future. Don't think about the past. Don't think about what you have to do to accomplish this or that. Just think about you are on the couch, you are letting your arm fall and you slump over. You breathe. You say, I love myself. I love myself. Hand on my heart. I love myself. Do nothing. If you're an Elliot Rodger type of person, do nothing. Do nothing. Sit down, slump over. Feel this. I feel the helplessness of that moment. What does it feel like? You feel like a loser, right? You feel totally unempowered. You feel like a little pissed over by society. It's okay, it's okay. Feel it, okay? That's the entry point into... That's what the ego was trying to make you run away from, okay? From these things. You have to feel it. You have to. Because that's there. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore what's there in that moment. You can heal it, and then you go past it. You go through and out. You're no longer a loser later on. But in order to heal this, you have to feel that whatever you're feeling underneath. You feel victimized, or you feel like a loser, or you feel pushed over, or you feel mistreated, or you feel like you feel entitled and you didn't get what you wanted from life, or whatever it is. You can talk to your God, Yahweh. You can also talk to the actual infinite cosmos. You can tell the blue God, the infinite cosmos. You can tell blue God, I feel like I didn't get what I deserved. Or you can talk about this. You will be amazed what answers you will get. You will be absolutely shocked and amazed what kind of things will be given to you if you stick to this, to this lame falling over posture. I'm not talking about later on when you're defending protecting someone, or when you're standing up for justice. I'm not talking about this right now. I'm talking about right now in this moment. Drop your arm right now. Drop that what's it called? The tendonitis type of muscle tension. Drop it. I'm telling myself as I'm saying this. I'm dropping my own arm as I'm saying this. I have tendonitis type of tension in this arm muscle. It's like type it to make the word better. Oh, drop it. Drop it. Time is not running out ever. That's where you are at. You are at this moment, and you have the right to be there. Timelessness, you're totally relaxing it out. When tears come, embrace those tears. Don't force the tears. Don't reject them. When tears come, it's a healing process. They want to come out real bad. Okay. Let the tears roll. Let it roll for as long as it takes. I know it will hurt here. It will be raw in the solar plexus. It will feel like, I empathize with this because I have been there so many times. I will feel like ugly or something, or I didn't make it in life. I didn't accomplish something intellectual. Okay, I'm shadow banned. That's not the worst insult. That's actually a compliment if you're shadow banned. That means you have something to say that the corporate agenda doesn't want other people to hear. Okay. So particularly what Laura Eisenhower said, that she was complaining on Rumble in a video and saying these corporate agenda people, they have shadow banned her all over the place. Well, that's a compliment, Laura. You know it's a compliment. Okay? Because you're telling the truth. Okay? You're helping people. You are enthusiastic about this. And that's all that matters. You're on the right path. Absolutely, 100%. And that's what matters, is to be on the right path of healing, of truth saying, whistle blowing. And we have to go back and over again, every day, and to go into meditation and drop your arms. There's nothing to do right now. Okay? So no time is running out. Let the arm drop. The arms and the hands are, our hands are like this. They are the probers of wanting to do this, write an angry letter or punch someone or whatever it is. And they are the tools of the ego. Drop the hands. Do nothing. Chris Cuomo. My favorite criminal of all. Drop your hands. Okay. Time is not running out. Even though you're, 53 or whatever. Like 6 years younger than me. My time is not running out either. Your time is not running out. Okay. You don't have to do this or that or get another 10 million from here or there for another little lie. No, just drop it. Okay. Drop it. I can see your inner child once too. I can see your inner child because you've already had your butt kicked by CNN, by CNN literally kicking you out. That was a bit harsh. Right? This was necessary for you. Absolutely necessary. Okay? That was the kick in the right direction. Okay. After that, the inner child had something to say to you. After that, you actually gave your inner child some attention. And the inner child said, Chris, please hear me. We want to heal. We don't want to be doing these nasty things anymore, these lies and all of that. For any amount of money. Okay, you already have so much money, you don't even know what to do with that. Let's create a therapy help center with that money. That would be a class 1 experience. I guarantee it to you. Guarantee. Put that corrupt money into something good. Transform that money into making the world better. You already said some true things. And I give you my compliments for that. You called Donald Trump a unicorn. And you said it like you were kind of amazed about this. Because you didn't really expect him to be a unicorn. A lot of us didn't in the past. I mean, we watched The Apprentice and stuff, and we knew he was a very tough businessman, very, very tough. You know, he can kick people out without regrets. But actually, that's what Friedrich Nietzsche is talking about when he talks about the will to power. That's not something bad. It is good. That's not Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. A lot. Adolf Hitler was in a class 4 experience train wreck drive. Okay. That was wrecking him in. Okay. Because he was taken up by the ego and all of that. He needed to slump down and relax and say, wait. Okay. This is not about an ethnic group. Even if it was, again, I talked about this before, even if it was only one ethnic group that does terrible things all the time, and every one of the ethnic group is doing terrible things to the world, you can still not make it into an ethnic group accusation. That was the mistake Adolf Hitler made. Absolutely. It still isn't. That's mindfulness. It's not woke. It's mindfulness. Total mindful. We have to sort this all out. We still have to sort the truth out from the rice shells, if we want to use that metaphor. Okay. So like Aschenputtel in the fairy tale. She was there sorting out the peas from the shells or something, or the peas from the rotten peas or something, and put all the good peas into a ball or something for her slaveholder, adoptive dragon mother. Right. So we have to sort all of this out at all times. At all times. We have no other choice. Can't do an Adolf Hitler. Okay? But we have to have will to power. This is absolutely a mother who's protecting her child has to have the will to power in order to protect her child. If she didn't have the will to power, in the moment when her child is in danger or when someone is going after her child, if she didn't have the will to power, then she'd be a facilitator. She'd be an enabler. Okay. She has to have the will to power in order to help someone, in order to help the child or other animals or dogs, horses, the environment, earth, everyone. Okay. You have to have the will to power to speak out, to speak the truth, and have your, whether you were on the payroll, have that cut off. You have to have the will to power to do this. Okay, that's your only that's your only chance for Chris and for anyone out there, for anyone. So the video is like really long. I think this is probably the longest video I've ever made. It's almost 2 hours long. So I have to wrap it up now. I have to charge the computer up also and then review the video later. I have to go out there and get grounded. But anyway, just want to wrap the video up and say, let go of the act out, whatever the act out is. Being a dishonest journalist, being a cluster B criminal who contemplates of murdering his parents, being someone who starves themselves to death, whoever that is, my brother who's cheating me out of my inheritance of 3 to 4 million euros, whoever you are out there, okay, let go. And then my brother had the nerve to say to me, drop it all, let go, let your ego go. What a massive projection, right? Massive. I mean, that is projection par excellence, really, what my brother has done in these video conversations, in those last video conversations with me. The Blue God agrees. 4. That's the truth, what I'm saying. We have to let go of it. Some people they are in such a momentum of a train wreck drive. You probably can't take them out of it. But I will try anyway with these videos. I'll try anyway. Drop it. Let go. Let go of the ego. Drop your arm that is feverishly where the muscle is already overworked, because the ego is like, the ego energy the ego wants to ignite these muscles all the time into this tension and into constantly thinking, now I need to type something again. No. Let go. You have infinitely much time. Okay. Time is an illusion. It really is. The ego is an illusion. It's Maya in Sanskrit. Maya is illusion. Maher means measurement. It comes from the word Maya. Jiddu Krishnamurti discovered that in one of his conversations with Dr. David Bohm. Maher. That Dr. Parshari, the Sanskrit scholar, he did not see the connection yet in this conversation. But Jiddu Krishnamurti was, even though Dr. Parshari said, no, that these words have nothing to do with each other, those are not related, Jiddu Krishnamurti was absolutely crystal clear in that moment that they are related. Maher means measuring. Maya means illusion. Measurement is illusion. Okay. Time is a measurement idea. It's an illusion. Space is measurement, illusion. We have to have some measurement here, which is, even here it's not linear, but it seems linear. It seems linear enough for us to navigate through life, to function, and we need to use this for good, right? Jiddu Krishnamurti didn't deny any of these things and said, he didn't say, you need to drop all of this now and forget about the right measurement for the building of your office chair or whatever it is. Obviously, we have to have it to create good things, right? Or to build a spaceship that goes to Mars. You have to have this seemingly linear measurement modality in order to create it. But from an astrophysics, from a theoretical physics point of view, from the sky perspective, that all of that is an illusion. That measurement is an illusion, okay? And this comes in very handy when we're talking about the ego, because the ego wants to use all of this for its ego advancements. And that's where the illusion comes in. And that's where the ego can very quickly become a criminal or hurt others without even knowing it. So, I'm wrapping it up. 1 hour, 50 minutes, 34 seconds, 35 seconds, 36 seconds. I can't even keep up with it. So anyway, we have to wrap this up, the video, and the baby dog and I. We have to. The ear is itching, and itchy. Earwaxing. We have to go outside and get grounded, and Paul's hearing aids are squealing against my will, and it always drives me nuts. And so now, you want to go outside, get grounded? Let's do it. Okay. Peace and love.